It's time for Virgo. Let me get back at her now. Spirit, would you please link me into the soul cycle of Virgo or Virgos? There we go. Could be dealing with Leo. What should our Virgos be aware of today on this one? Highly intuitive, that's what I like to see. This is definitely a time when you guys should be on your ball. We got in the heart of the situation for Virgos. So, okay, so we got a higher front here. This could be a religious organization, a spiritual leader, any kind of spiritual goof. Came out upright, but I don't always make that chiseled in stone. So. Taurus energy, so could be dealing with a Taurus religious leader. Could be like I don't know. I'm not getting good energy for it. I'm thinking it's a some kind of institution that's kind of cloaked as a church, but it's not on the outside. It may look like it, but some of the thing, it's kind of like a mask or like a mustache or a beard. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's not what it seems to be. Even though it came out upright, this is like a group of individuals with if you go to enough churches, you'll eventually run into these. There's actually more of them than people think, right? Some people don't even realize it, and some people go there for some of them anyway. Some of them are just a church as a front, and they don't even really like. I don't know. The ones I've dealt with, like they're Jesus this and Jesus that all over the place. But if you actually kind of pay attention and see what they're actually doing, it's not really what it seems to be anyway. Like I say, for those who have eyes to see, it'll if you look close enough, you'll eventually see what's going on there. This could possibly be a Taurus or fire sign, possibly. I don't know why I'm getting that fire sign. But yeah, these people are not. This isn't, like I say, this isn't for every Virgo, but this is definitely one of those. Let me know in the comments section if you've dealt with them, but I've only stumbled across. I've only looked for them though. I've only recently in the last couple of years, discovered one myself. I thought it was just probably everybody else thinks it's probably some conspiracy theory or some shit like that, right? Sounds like something one of those guys would come up with, right? But believe me, they're out there. I've dealt with them, and yeah, actually, I'm continuing to deal with some of them. Not as not as either somebody they prey on or somebody that breaks bread with them. I don't break bread with them. Just to let anybody out there know I don't. I'm kind of been at war with them for a while, like kind of like a clandestine war though. Not the kind that if you know how these people operate, they don't come and they don't like even know where they live or where they you know what I mean. Or unless their illusions are working on you, right? Then they don't give a shit, right? But if you feel funny, go with your intuition. Feel funny and just pray about it. God loves exposing these guys to you because, for one thing, they're doing something in His name that is totally ungodly. So, if anything, He'll help you get rid of them. And if you're a believer and with the Most High or whoever you prescribe to, and you're doing good and you're on the right side of karma, you know it. They'll have no power over you, except for the power that you give them, and that's where you got to be careful. They'll trick you into trusting them. And they use a lot of illusion spells and shit like that to try and get you to. They look like Ned freaking Flanders next to you. You know what I mean? They're too damn nice. You know what I mean? You ever see those people that are just too damn nice? And it's like, oh, he's such a nice. No, he's not. He's hiding something. They're those type of people. They're not real. There's something that's not real about them. And that's how you can pick them up. That's how I picked them up. That's how I first. I was like, just kept on watching them. I'm like, you know what? Something about this Ned Flandersy motherfucker. You know what I mean? I got nothing against very nice people, but usually I found without experience. I'm 43 years old. I know it's not that old, but I've lived life for enough to bump into a few of these. And when somebody is way too nice, they're usually hiding something really, really nasty. Not always really nasty, but shit like this, I don't know, man. To some people, it may not be nasty, but when you pretend to be a worker of light and are doing the opposite, to me, that's one of the worst things you can do, man. Because you're deceiving other people. That's just not right. But you know what? Eventually, the truth always comes out. And I certainly wouldn't want to be these guys when they have to go before the throne, so. But anyways, what's the challenge of this situation? What do we got in the challenge? Oh. Nostril gel, okay. So, it was nice out today. It depends where you live, right? You could be in a different climate, but a little nostril gel. Thinking of the past. This could be some of the challenges of your past. So maybe you have a history with this organization where these, this isn't going to resonate for everybody, but maybe you have a history with, maybe you've been in this church since you were a little kid and you never even realized, and then all of a sudden the Holy Ghost opened up your eyes and said, what the fuck, there's something fishy going on there. Literally, that's how it was for me. I wasn't with these guys. I kind of just bumped into them, and I met them a few times and never caught on anything. And then all of a sudden there's just little tiny things here and there. And, but you wouldn't know by, they knew the Bible very good. And the one I dealt with anyway, he was Jesus this and praying for you all over the place and blah, 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 blah. That's the other thing. Once you get to pray for you. But with this guy, I'm telling you right now, he would have fooled you because, well, I mean, not only you, but he fooled me. And I know the Bible pretty good. I'm not saying I'm I could, but I do know, I can, if you're telling me something, I could give me a verse from the Bible, I could probably tell you which chapter or something, or whatever. I mean, if it's sticks out a bit, you know what I mean? I'm not back to back, don't know the whole Bible, but I wish I did though, because there's a lot of knowledge in there. And actually, reading the Bible is actually what helps you pick out these motherfuckers too. Because there's a lot of little hints in there for those who have eyes to see and ears to listen. You know what I mean? If you pick up on that kind of stuff, then you'll be able to. Maybe not right away, because like I say, these ones are convincing, but eventually, if you have a relationship with God, He's going to expose these guys to you because He doesn't want you to be led astray. And his sheep hear his voice. They don't hear guys like this' voice. They don't hear it. They do at first, of course. You know, it's easy to pull a fast one on somebody when you got a whole organization working with one or two people. You know what I mean? That's what they do. They single you out, you know what I mean? Well, this guy's working distraction over here. This guy over here is doing something else, you know what I mean? And they'll get your information, they'll get everything. It's the perfect fit. And the police don't want to go harass them. Like, what are people going to think if they go and harass father just stole your wallet or whatever, you know what I mean? They don't do little shit like that, though. They usually have a lot of money, too. Nice Botox injections and whatever, like, you know what I mean? They look like they were born in the money or whatever. Maybe their daddy did the same thing, right? What are you thinking of subconsciously? Ooh, okay. Subconsciously, you're thinking about an Aries. Could be a Aries masculine. Doesn't have to be. Somebody of power. Could be somebody in this organization. I'm thinking just because I'm drawing that they're both wearing red. Right? Not the same kind of red, but this guy might even be higher up. This guy might just be the guy that deals with the people. This guy might be the guy who actually, I don't know, the Al Capone of the, maybe you don't meet this guy until you probably never do meet this guy. Probably just this guy and a few other guys like this in different churches or fronts or whatever you want to call them. But yeah, it's a sad thing, but you believe me, they're out there. I've dealt with them like in the last 2 years. I've been dealing with one of them, yeah. Like no, like one member, but like one. And they don't ever have like a brick or mortar building. They always like are using somebody else's or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, do you really like you're really this? And you've really got to do it. And by that time, then you get speak to them. If they didn't, they'll figure. I don't know. They never got anything out of me. But yeah, some of them are trying to actually reproduce my videos. In fact, I know they are. I don't know what the hell they're doing with them because I don't see them on YouTube, but they must be selling them somewhere else, or they're pretending to be me and asking to do meetings. I never ask to do meetings for people. I never do. I leave my information in the description thing of the video, and that's it. So I don't ever ask for readings. So if they may ever ask for a reading, tell them to go fuck themselves. Don't say that. Well, you can if you want, actually. But I would, but that's just me, right? Okay, so you could be thinking about a, what do you got, 4, 5, 6, so you got 4, 5, 6, and this is like, the challenge is, the past, so something to do with the past. Maybe you've known this guy, like, or one of these religious leaders. Maybe this guy's not a religious leader, maybe he's somebody high up in the government or something. Like, this screams like secret society bullshit to me, like, not the one I'm dealing with, but I think they're kind of like on the low end or whatever, but I know there is ones like this, big ones out there too. I think these ones, the ones I'm dealing with, are just a bunch of scam artists and groupies, and they like to get together and like bang each other and stuff. This is a bunch of groupies, right? Sex addicts and shit like that. Which, whatever, there's nothing wrong with that, but do you have to pretend to be the church to do it? Like, come on. That's what I don't get, man. You see, like, it's bad enough when you need to go slap guy in the face now. Like, that's the thing that pisses me off. But that's what I mean. That's what he shows you who they really serve, right? What do you got in the past for our Virgos? Ooh, Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so you could have a Queen of Pentacles and their sign in the past. Nurturing. She likes the outdoors. She's a material type person, but upright, not in a bad way. Like she just likes, you know, go out and like enjoy the outdoors, and, you know, Earth, because she's in her sign, right? So she has to feel the wind blow blow through her hair and, like, you know, go and like explore and shit. There's a little bunny there. I love nature. I'm in her sign. Well, they're gonna leave the customers. So. Everything there, but see, I don't know what, I know this card never changes. I know it never changes. But like sometimes it looks like she's got a really sad face, and other times it looks like she's just kind of thinking there like this. Like right now, she doesn't look sad. She looks kind of happy. I don't know what you guys think, but maybe it's the mood I'm in or something. But it's almost like it changes every time I look at it. But I know it doesn't. What do we got in the present moment for Virgos? That could be you too. That could be represent you, your sign, or the Hierophant could be you too. You could be the religious leader. And like I say, this isn't going to resonate for everybody. I'm not saying you're like a Father Nelson, like whatever, preacher, whatever, teaches the kids the wrestling moves and wants to teach them to Father Nelson all of a sudden after he taught them the health Nelson. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying this isn't going to resonate for everybody. And I'm not even saying that about that. I'm just saying things aren't always as they appear. You know what I mean? You know what? But like a normal person, I don't want to say normal, but like somebody who isn't like, you have to be pretty twisted to literally go and pretend to be a preacher and like try and, to mask what you are. Like, you can pick anything. You can pick anything, you know what I mean? You can pick, door-to-door salesman or something like that. Why you gotta go slap God in the face, you know? Even though most churches, I don't think they're a reflection of God. I know there are some out there. Definitely people who are believers. I've had a lot of good believers. What do we got in the present? I don't prescribe to one religion, but I do. I was mainly the one I studied the most was Christianity, but I study everything. I study all religions because like they all have truth in them. You know what I mean? They all have a lot of truth actually if you know how to look. And a lot of them mirror each other. So like this one right here. When I lived on the Aberration on the Native Reserve. Sorry, JC. I lived on Aboriginal reservation for a while. For a couple of years. Well, not on there, but just outside of it. In the neighboring town. Oh my god. Sorry, guys. And this is their match right here. I don't know if you can read that. It's the 7 teachings. It's love, respect, honesty, courage, truth, humility, and wisdom. And it's got an animal for one. It's got the eagle, the buffalo, the sabe, the bear, the turtle, the wolf, and the beaver. And yeah, like to me, that's like if you really look into it, that's the exact same thing as the 10 Commandments. The exact same freaking thing. It's like basically the golden rule. This is just like, except for maybe in I'm not going to say anything bad about Judeo-Christian or whatever, but like I think we added a few, you know what I mean? But like look at the Roman Catholics, like they sure like to control people, so that's what I mean. That's why it makes sense how they would have a little bit more, because the native people, they actually govern their people a little more freer. Like they seem to like respect freedom a little more. And I'm not saying that's what God is about. I'm just saying that the religion, because religion has gotten started with God, and then people got their fingerprints on it and fucked it up a little bit. And some people actually like when you call it, honor it, and some other people use it, like the one I was just talking about, that to try and fill their pockets full of shit. You know what I mean? Try to get people's trust somehow so they could screw them over. You know what I mean? And other people use it for nefarious reasons. So look at Hitler. Like, he was a devout Christian. You know what I mean? Like, for crying out loud. It's sick what people do in the name of God. Okay, this is in the present. You got a postman, so this could be a fire sign. Not a fire sign, doesn't have to be. Postman. They call him a postman. I think it's in the Universal Tarot because he gets around a lot. He's a venturer. He's fiery, but sometimes it also means like he gets around a lot. You know what I mean? So if this is somebody you're dealing with, well, you probably know. If not, just keep an eye on it. he might be like literally stuffing his mail in every box of the neighborhood, you know what I mean? And who cares really, unless you might be in a relationship with him or her. It could be a her too. A lot of time pages are women actually. Okay. And messengers. So I notice it's barren there too. It's pretty barren. That's what I mean. Like it's kind of like what they leave behind. Is the way I see this picture, because like when somebody's, there's nothing wrong being a venture, but if you're looking at somebody like this as in terms of a relationship that you're thinking of, it's probably not the best, because you know, he's just going to leave everything barren because he jumps from one to the next, right? You see something shiny, it's like boom, 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 because he's an adventurer, right? He's not there to plant roots, he's there to like scoop the fruit and get the fuck out, you know? What do we got in the future for Virgo? Ooh, is this temperance? I want to come out sideways, which I really like actually, because it came out sideways like this. And this to me is blockage. And this color represents your ancestors or your angels or whoever you prescribe to, like your spiritual guardians, let's call them. And I'm thinking I'm on the right trail here, because why would your spiritual guardians be blocking something? I'm thinking they're blocking this mofo right here. I'm trying to do whatever the heck he is trying to do. I don't know. You might drive a Land Rover too. Yeah. Just putting that out there. This is also Sagittarius energy, but this is our good friend Archangel Michael. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I never really asked him personally, but like, I have had some experiences with him, and he's literally like, I think I owe my life to him, so it's a different story though. And yeah, if this guy is blocking these guys, you're obviously doing something fishy, because Archangel Michael don't send his boys down to block something unless there's something to be blocked, right? And they deal with in the spiritual realm, right? So anyway, these guys too. That's why I mean, be careful who you let pray for you, especially who you lay hands on you, because a lot of these guys may be dressed up like Ned Flanders, but underneath they could be a little bit like Charles Manson. You know what I mean? I know that's kind of out there and seems far-fetched, and believe me, it did to me for a long time too, until I bumped into a few of them. And it's better to know who they are. And then I've seen what happens to people who don't realize eventually, and they don't have eyes to see, and then eventually they don't have brains to think. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. Be careful. But this guy looks like he's stepping in. Maybe you didn't see the first time like me. Maybe you didn't catch on right away, because, like I say, they got people running interference, very planned out, they're very organized. They do this shit, right? But this guy right here, if you as long as you're praying to God, or whoever you prescribe to, or even like going within and talking to your ancestors and saying, hey, is this guy legit? Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. Your intuition's never gonna lie to you. And if you got a funny feeling about somebody like that, especially somebody in a compromising position like that people just tend to believe him for no reason. Oh, he says he's the leader of a church, he must fucking be doing good. No. Haven't you heard about all the Catholic priests and poor little broken boys? Like, I mean, I don't even want to go there. I'm just saying, like, they're not all of them. Some of them, the devil likes to hide in the church. That's his favorite place to hide, actually. So, what do we got in the hopes and fears? Actually, that's what it says in Revelations, that the Antichrist or whatever is going to be a religious leader. Wow. Perform miracles and all that, you know. And he'd be preaching the Word of God, but of course he's going to add his little twist to it. That's what I mean. If you know the Bible, and you study your Bible, and you actually know what it says and what it means, you might pick up on it. But it says it there that in those days even the elect will be deceived. So the ones who know the Bible inside and out. So like I said, that's where you need eyes and ears. What do we got in hopes and fears? What are your hopes and fears in this situation? Virgo's, okay. So your hopes, I'm thinking. Okay, your fears is that your investments are not going to pay off. So hopefully you've done your homework before you give any money to these clowns. Because the money is energy, right? And they can take that energy and they can actually do a lot of things with it if they're into the occult, you know what I mean? So make sure you're always giving, you know who you're giving your money to, right? And your fears are, or your hopes are that maybe you can embark on a new journey. Maybe that's why you went to church. Maybe things weren't working out for you. And you thought, oh, I'm going to go get closer to God. I'm going to go and jump on that road and start a new journey, right? Which is, it's a great thing to do if you're pushed to do something. I totally say you should do that, but just make sure you're going to the right place, right? But you know what the cool thing is that I've experienced this myself when I was a new believer, and I've seen it with lots of other ones that literally, like, just like this fool here, you can almost walk off the cliff when you first start walking down that path, and then, you know what, even if you do, Augusta Wing's going to blow you up because he respects that, man. He knows that you're ignorant, and he's not going to let you fall for shit like this. But when you know something like that, you can't listen to it. Just listen and pray about it, because that right there is you're not going to trust, before you trust this guy, trust that guy, you know what I mean? Like, ask him first, is this guy legit? Or is he like, I don't know. I don't even want to say it, I'm just saying, because some people might get offended, but it happens all the time. Did we even go into the future? No, we didn't. We went right from there to there. Okay. Well, that happened for a reason, though. What do we got in the future here? For Virgos. Future energy. Gotta think of a name for the Virgos. I got the Loyal Libras now. Okay, this is your energy too. This is Empress energy. So who else could be any queen in the deck can be an Empress. I mean, she's got everything in it. She's the full package. So, the Empress. So in the future, this could be, if you play the cards right. This could be you right now for all I know. That's beautiful energy. Everybody wants the Empress. She's like I say, she's a full package. Every queen in your deck. She's also like a mother figure, nurturing. She births things, you know. She births babies. She helps the emperor. So he's basically birthing everything that happens, right? He says what goes and what doesn't go, and judges and whatever. A powerful man's only as good as the woman by his side, right? So that's what we got. Sometimes two people will go to her because they don't want to deal with the emperor. They're like, well, I know he's got a soft spot for the empress. If I can get it in her, right? But what do we got in the lens you're looking through? Okay, so the lens you're looking through is you're looking to deal with this like in a loving way, which is this is somebody who's trustworthy, but this is representing the way you're looking at things, right? So you're looking at these. This is like has to be you're looking at like this, like you just want to look like you're there to help and be peaceful and all that. And that's the best way to look at like everything. Anytime you meet some new people. Like I say, you could be old people, but maybe you're just seeing them in a new light now. Because right here it says the challenge is the past. So past, maybe something happened in the past. Maybe they had the illusion in the past. Maybe the leadership changed, and all of a sudden it was a nice church at one time, and then all these like little yuppies that like these little I don't know. You can usually tell by their ego, man. They're like like rich, punky kids, you know what I mean? Born with a silver spoon up their ass, and they're like, I'm not gonna say Masons because I know there's good Masons too, but they're like a group like that, you know what I mean? And they go and infiltrate church, and they get in there and they start, they like their little whatever the hell it is. I don't know them that well. Just from what I've seen now, I know what they're doing. Is not the ones that I've seen that are like that are no good. In fact, it's worse than no good. But I know the way God looks at it, because me and him have just had like, I prayed about it lots, and believe me, he doesn't like it one bit either, and I don't like anybody who's tarnishing his name, because I don't know, I kind of like to, he's my best bro, okay, let me put it that way. What do we got in the environment for our Virgos? 2? Okay. Ooh, okay, that's actually good. Well, not good, but you're guarded. Because you know, I think you did tough win, because this guy came by and blocked the motherfucker. And you're like, why is Archangel Michael blocking this son of a bitch? If he represents God, doesn't Archangel Michael work for God? Isn't he his top #1 guy? Didn't he grab Big Red by the seat of his pants and use his head to open the door and throw him out of the pearly gates there when he was trying to act a fool and say he was the Most High or whatever? Just think about those things, you know? That's all I'm saying. He get an Olympic 10 for a nosedive when he tossed him down to earth. Just kidding. But I think right now it's good to be guarded. Anytime you go and become a member of a religion, any kind of religious, you want to know the people before you give them any information. They shouldn't even know your name until they've proven that they actually really have a connection with the Most High. You know what I mean? Maybe you need to have eyes to see that too. So, but if you ask, you will receive, right? So if you're curious, ask. It's never a wrong question, right? I've never felt bad going and asking him anything. He likes that. Because how else would you know, right? You get the 9, you're guarded, and it's a good thing you're guarded, because I'm thinking that this doesn't happen yet, but this is not how you want to wind up. And the way these organizations, because they want us to keep doing this to other people, right? So they're not going to come out and when you go and put your jacket up, before church, blackjack you and take your money. No, they do the boiling the frog thing, where they do it slowly over time, and they condition your mind. And then next thing you know, you're with Manson and his buddies, kidnapping celebrity. No, I'm just kidding. But you could get to that if you let somebody in your head enough and you trust them. Don't trust anybody. And he's the only one I trust, seriously. After the shit I've seen, he's the only one I trust. And you know what? I'm not saying that's a good way to live, but it's better than I don't know, whatever. There's a lot of worse things, It's good to be cautious, especially if you have kids, What do you got in the outcome of the situation for Virgos? Okay, so you blocked spying, or they blocked your spying, or maybe you were asking some questions and they blocked your spying, because this is a spy card and they come out blocked. Or you could be dealing with a younger air sign. These all come out blocked, actually. There's a magician blocked. There's work blocked, hard at work blocked. So maybe somebody's blocking your work. Maybe that's what they were trying to do. Maybe they don't like your work. There's a magician block, so maybe you're blocking you materializing something. Or I'm thinking that maybe they were trying to get some information on you, spying, and maybe trying to get some manipulation on you by throwing a few tricks out there. And look who come to save the day again. Here I come to save the day. But really, why is they in that position too, the influencing position? This is what's influencing. influencing is Archangel Michael. It doesn't have to be Archangel Michael. It could be, your ancestor. It could be great granny Fran or whatever. We used to play bingo and go to church every Sunday and say, hey, there's something I don't like about this guy. There's something fishy about him. You know what I mean? Those are the kind of people you want to talk to. Because if they're still around, and if they're not, you can still talk to you too. If that's what you prescribe to do. Because, yeah, old Aunt Fran who could, fucking rattle off, 10 bingo cards, like a machine gun, but went to church devoutly for, 4 years or whatever, she would be able to pick this guy out like nothing. I'm telling you right now, she would. So, those are the type of people that have eyes to see, because they desire to. Yeah, I think you have to desire to actually see it, because some people, they do see this shit and they just close their eyes. They don't want to see it. It's like, I don't want to deal with that. This is just, either they'll never go to church again, or they'll just let their mind slowly be boiled, like the frog there. And the frog, the story about the frog being boiled is that they boil the frog so slow that he thinks he's in a bathtub, and by the time he figures out he's getting cooked, he's dead. You know what I mean? That's just an analogy, but that's how that's how these cults work. So all this is blocked. Buying blocked. Maybe their work. Maybe this isn't good work because they come out blocked. Magician blocked. So somebody trying to do some tricks or something. So all this is blocked. And I don't know, unless you're unless you're what do you call it? The Apostle Paul. I don't think you blocked all this. I think the fact that this guy's in the influencing position here, that's who blocked that. So I'm not saying it. You could be the Apostle Paul. Anybody who believes is basically at the same. It's not. Any believer knows that it's not the believer that actually does anything. That's the cool thing about it. You're just all you need to do is believe, and it's actually these guys that do everything. And most of the time, you're oblivious to it. You don't even know what the fuck's going on. You're like Mr. Magoo walking around grand pianos flip about the flat near the fucking pavement, and you don't even realize it. So. Okay, give me one more for Come There, Holy Spirit. One more. Holy shit, we're at 35 minutes here. 35 minutes. Wow. That's 3. Okay. You might be dealing with a King of Wands. Or you could be a King of Wands. You could be somebody who's an entrepreneur. Or this is a judge here, too. So. This sometimes represents God too. Like I say, this does represent God. And I didn't want this name with anything, but right now you're planning for the future. It looks like. No, this guy's waiting for your ships to come in. So I'm thinking maybe you. Hopefully they didn't sucker you into some business deal and say, "Oh, I got some money. If you give me this, I'll, in a couple of weeks, blah blah blah." That right away should. If somebody says that to you in church, it should raise red flags right away. But hopefully you're not waiting for your ships to come in. And a guy in a religious leader should never ask you about your finances for one thing. They should pass the bloody collection plate around, and you throw in whatever the hell you have. And if you don't have anything, you don't need to, you don't give anything, because you can't. You really think God needs your money? No, he doesn't need your money. But if your priest is driving a Cadillac with gold hubcaps, and you know what I mean, that should tell you something too. Just look for little things like that. You know what I mean? He's got a bass in the system, those are all little tiny warning hints there. What have we got in the underlying energy for that's right. And that's why you're seeing all this. That's why you're like this, is because underlying energy is the high priestess. The high priestess is smart. She sees everything and knows everything, but she don't say shit. She lets these guys deal with it. And that's what you should do. Have fun, guys.